happy Saturday. It's almost 4, so I guess I'll do 4 p.m. to 4 p.m. I do love watching people doing 24-hour reading vlogs where they stay up all night. They have like 5 cups of coffee. They're like, their eyes are closing by the end, but I am frankly too old for that, and I do have a job that I need to do on Monday. So I guess, sorry for the clickbait. In theory, would love to spend literally 24 hours reading, but currently, is it worth the pain and the recovery time? Probably not. So today's the 28th of October. Halloween is right around the corner. I've got a few more books that I want to read that are very spooky. I will read spooky books any time of the year, but you know, this is the time to really get them out, right? So I've got 3 books here. They're all fairly, I wouldn't call them thin books, but they're not giant books, you know. I might get through all 3. If I do, I'm gonna read The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. It seems unlikely. I feel like that's getting ahead of myself. But I do have Henry James's ghost stories here that I've been working my way through. And yeah, I'm about to start The Turn of the Screw, which is the classic novella. So that's there for the end if I get around to it, if I need to fill some time. But my priority is getting through these 3 books. I think I'll probably start with O Caledonia by Elspeth Barker. It was originally published in 1991, and then when the author died in 2022, I guess it was like republished and recirculated. Ali Smith describes it as one of the best, least known novels of the 20th century. It's got an introduction by Maggie O'Farrell, who wrote Hamnet. So high praise. Really excited. And when I bought this at Distill Books in the Plateau in Montreal, the owner said that I had made an excellent choice and that it was a book that she really enjoyed. O Caledonia begins with the body of 16-year-old Janet discovered in her Scottish Highlands home. There is no shortage of suspects in the murder of the unlovely and unloved Janet. Oh. Despite this opening scene, O Caledonia is not a whodunit, but an account of our ill-fated young heroine's life, from birth to early death, about sibling bonds and betrayals, isolation and loneliness, the miseries of adolescence, and the saving grace of books. And it looks like we've got comparisons to the Brontes, Edgar Allan Poe, Romanticism, nature writing, all things that are green flags in books for me. So we'll start off with this one. It's not terribly long. In fact, it's quite short. So hope to finish that this evening. Next up, I will read A House Unsettled by Trynne Delaney. This was published by Annick Press, and it's a haunted mansion gothic novel as far as I know. So Trynne Delaney is a Montreal-based author, and I have liked their other works, their shorter works, and so I'm excited for this longer novel. Ever since Asha and her mom moved into Great Aunt Aggie's old place, Asha's been hearing strange footsteps and waking up at night with a suffocating weight on her chest she can't explain. Her new neighbor Cole doesn't believe in ghosts, but as they grow closer, they uncover secrets that tie their families together and histories of oppression that reverberate into the present. And Asha can't shake the feeling that the violence in these walls is going to repeat itself. Sounds like a really cool twist on the gothic novel. Gorgeous cover. Oh yeah, and the little bit on the top is, how do you start fresh when you live with the dead? And then after that, I don't know how far into this one I will get, but Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Basterica. This is a novel about cannibalism, if cannibalism were legal. His wife has left him, his father is sinking into dementia, and Marcos tries not to think too hard about how he makes a living. After all, it happened so quickly. First, it was reported that an infectious virus has made all animal meat poisonous to humans. Then, governments initiated the transition. Now, eating human meat, special meat, is legal. Marcos tries to stick to numbers, consignments, processing. Then one day he's given a gift, a live specimen of the finest quality. Though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden on pain of death, little by little he starts to treat her like a human being. And soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost, and what might still be saved. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I look forward to getting grossed out. This cover, gorgeous. All three of these covers are gorgeous. Like I said, if I do happen to finish all 3 books before 4 p.m. tomorrow, I will resume the Henry James stories. I'm going to take Caledonia outside. It's very like sunny and warm out, and so it might be our last day of like really comfortably being able to sit outside. So I will take advantage of that. It's a while later. I am so sleepy today. I ended up taking a nap after I read a few chapters of Caledonia. I had dinner, had some ice cream, and I am about halfway through. I'm really enjoying it. It's very much as advertised vibes, not plot. We're following Janet, who's just going about her life and hanging out with people and birds and the moors. So yeah, I mean, it works for me. I like it so far. But yeah, I'm so sleepy. This is why I'm not gonna stay up all night, because I can't even stay up until like mid-evening. Anyway, I will definitely finish this like in the next couple of hours, and I've been wanting to play like my reading playlist or like nice jazz, or like maybe like the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown soundtrack or Over the Garden Wall soundtrack. But like 1989 Taylor's version came out yesterday. I went to see the Ears tour movie yesterday, and so all I can listen to is 1989. So yeah, maybe it's not the best combo, but the heart wants what the heart wants. Okay. This was poetry. This was stunning. Yeah. Like with murder mysteries, this is on the cover not a murder mystery. It says so in the blurb, it says so in the introduction, but like I've never been someone who's like trying to find out who the murderer is the whole time. I just let myself, I just go along for the ride. And yeah, we only find out who is officially on the last page, of course. But, oh my god, I totally forgot I was coming for the last, like, couple of chapters. I had to read this quickly, of course, because I was ideally not just reading one short book for 24 hours. So I was like, I'm gonna finish this tonight and then start another book, and so I had to keep going. But I could have easily spent 3 times that time on every page just like living in the lyricism of this prose. Beautiful. And this is her only novel. This is her only book. I'm gonna look into, like, if there's more that we can read, even if it's not a full book. But wow, I loved that. And I loved Janet, and Maggie O'Farrell was right. Like, this is beautiful. And I guess it was out of print for a long time, even though when it first came out in the 90s it won all these awards, but now it's back in print. I mean, if you're a plot person and looking for a murder mystery, this is not it. But if you're looking for kind of a gothic, lyrical, short novel, which I always am, perfect. But around the middle, I kind of got like, okay, well, what are we doing? And then the last few chapters just raised the bar. Really glad I read this. It'll be one of my favorites of the year for sure. Gorgeous. You are currently propped up on A House Unsettled by Trynne Delaney, so I won't move you, but that is what I'm going to be picking up next. I'm going to get kind of as far as I can. It's kind of late, like it's almost midnight, I think. No, it's just past 11. Like, it's okay. Like, I'll stay up for another couple of hours. I'll get a ways into A House Unsettled, and then pick up in the morning. But, wow. Yeah, I was falling asleep a couple of hours ago. Now I'm, like, fully awake. Let's see how this goes. There's so many holes in this. So I'm gonna try to figure out a way to, like, preserve this print, maybe? Or I'll look up, like, is it unique to... I think I got this from H&M, you know? It's not, like, huge sentimental value, but, like, love Bride of Frankenstein. And so either I will try to find this poster, or if this is actually a design unique to H&M, which I'm a little skeptical of, I will try to preserve this print, but this t-shirt is entering its final days as a t-shirt. Like, look at the size of this hole. This is not a sustainable hole. This is just no longer a shirt. So I figured I'll whip it out for one last run, and then we'll figure out something else to do with it. But yeah, I do love this t-shirt. You know, it's comfy, it's soft, and it's Frankenstein. Okay, hi, it's later. I've acquired dumplings. I ordered fried dumplings, but really they're just sort of normal dumplings with a bit of a crust on them. And, you know, fine. I usually order the soup dumplings from this place, and they are fantastic. These are... okay. Constant screaming. Since probably 9 p.m. I've been listening to, like, as I told you at first, I was listening to Taylor Swift. For the past couple of hours, I've been listening to Halloween jazz, which is fantastic, and does, in fact, drown out the sounds of people just screaming in the neighborhood. It's a very quiet neighborhood, usually. But it is the full moon, and it is Halloween weekend. And having spent the entire evening reading horror stories, I'm like, yeah. Anyway, this is really good so far. We've not seen much haunting, but clearly there's some, like, small town tension. They've moved back to this town where Asha hasn't lived for a long time, but that's where her mom grew up, and her mom's there with her. We're encountering a lot of people that, like, the narrator, like, doesn't really know and is kind of getting to know for the first time. Has moved from the city to small towns. Classic haunted house, gothic vibes. But this has a little bit of a twist in that we have some queerness, some racialized characters. I think the main character is black, or at least, like, half black. And so that's really cool to sort of examine the gothic genre and the haunted house story from that lens, because ultimately, like, these subgenres of horror are about being isolated and targeted in some way, right? And so I really love stories that kind of play with that a little bit. And this is one so far. I'm about 50 pages in, so I'll stop around page 150, which is about halfway through the book, so that tomorrow I will have half of the book left, and then Tender is the Flesh to read.
Good morning. I just had a massive yawn. I'm not crying. I am going to head out to a coffee shop to get some reading done. Yeah, I could make a little adventure over to a fun coffee shop that I know has like pumpkins and drippy candles. Not their Halloween decorations, just their year-round vibe. So I'm gonna go there and see what they've got for little snacks, go get a coffee, and continue reading A House Unsettled.
Later. I have finished reading A House Unsettled. It is past 4, so my 24-hour readathon is complete. And I didn't start Tender is the Flesh, but I might start it later tonight after I nap. I think just staring at pages for like a long part of the day just does make me very sleepy. So it's got a lot of the elements of a classic ghost story or a classic haunted house story, but it's got the additional layers of queerness and also generational trauma and land ownership and occupation. That is a huge topic in a place like Canada. It's set in rural New Brunswick, where the main character's blackness is a very visible difference that she has. Nothing, like, I don't think anything really blew me away, but I think it was very well done and very compelling, and really liked the characters. They were fun to read. So if you're looking for a little bit of a deeper ghost story, then A House Unsettled by Trynne Delaney. So these are the 2 books that I ended up reading in the past 24 hours. I'll close things off here. I hope you have a lovely rest of the spooky season. I'm going to spend the rest of my evening tidying up, getting some groceries, because tomorrow I'm having friends over for a bit of a spooky dinner party, so that'll be fun. I've got to get ready for that, and I think that about covers it. So I will see you again very soon. Bye.